If you want to win this war, you will need to go further than even a warrior of your renown has ever ventured before.
Hi everyone, Vegas film critic Jeffrey K. Howard here to review Underworld Blood Wars, the first review of mine for 2017. This is starting my 21st year as a professional film critic, and we're starting with Underworld Blood Wars. Now, I love the Underworld series. I really do. I have the Blu-ray box set somewhere over there, and I really admire them. I really do. I love fantasy horror. I really do. I'm not a Twilight fan, but I am an Underworld fan. And this was going to be a brand new reboot of the series, but then the studio changed their mind and decided to make this the fifth installment in the series. And Kate Beckinsale is back as Celine, who's this death dealer. She's on the run from not only the Lycans, the werewolves, but also the vampire clan. You know, they're both after her. Because if you've been watching the series, you know, they all connect. She has this special kind of hybrid blood that they're after. Also her daughter, who's this next generation of a Lycan and vampire put together. Yes, there's a lot of exposition. There's a lot of story that goes with these movies, and this is no different than the others. A lot of exposition, a lot of talk, very dialogue heavy. So essentially, she's on the run, but of course, then she meets up with the clan, the vampire clan, and she has to fight the new Lycan leader, played by, what's his name, Tobias? God, Jeff. Tobias, I'm going blank on his name. Tobias Menzies, who plays, got my notes here, see? I don't remember everything. Tobias Menzies, who plays Maris, who's one of these Lycan, one of these werewolf. I like saying werewolf better than Lycan. One of these werewolf hybrids. So they're bent on destroying all of the vampires. So this is war going on, this blood war. And of course, Theo James is back, and he was in the last film. He's also helping Kate Beckinsale, helping Celine, travel to the north where they find the Nordic vampires. There's a lot going on in this movie, and it's only an hour and a half. So a lot happens in this movie. And overall, it's got the production values. It really does. Shot in Prague over 10 weeks. The budget, I think, was $35 million. The thing's already grossed like $75 million, you know, here in America and overseas. So a lot of people love this series. And is this the greatest one in the series? Absolutely not. But is it worth your money for a B picture? Absolutely. If you're a horror fantasy fan. And I love the CGI in it. A lot of people were like complaining. I've reading some other reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like 22%. I'm not that hard on it. I'm really not, because I'm a fan of it. So I love the action sequences. They have great production values. The settings are great. I do have some problems with it. It's like the vampires have technology. It's really funny to have these giant screens where they push, you know, touch screens where they have all these really nice computers and all these high-tech weapons. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And also in this major castle where this vampire clan is, they have all these windows. You know, they can't stand the sunlight, right? Vampires. And of course, that's one of their downfalls. You know, they keep breaking the windows in some of these battles. And I thought, you know, after 15 centuries, you think someone say, hey, we should, you know, brick up these windows. And also, they kind of rip off The Hobbit. There's a whole thing up when they get up to the Nordic vampires. There's this fight on this frozen lake. And I thought, wait a minute, wasn't that in The Hobbit? You know, so Kate Beckinsale is fighting the Lycan guy. You know, he's fighting Maris on the ice. And I was like, wow, they just lifted this right out of The Hobbit. But you know what? Not to be too critical, it is what it is. It's Underworld Blood Wars. And I just had a good time with it. I really did. I went and paid for it. That's right. They didn't screen it for critics. They would never screen a movie like this for critics. So I haven't paid my $7 this afternoon, and took a friend with me, and we had a good time. Really did. I'm going to check my notes to see if there's anything else I want to say. Sir Mia, played by Lara Pulver, there's two baddies in this. You have Tobias playing Maris, who's the Lycan kind of leader, the new leader. Then you also have a vampire that's power hungry, and she wants to take over the clan, and she also wants to meet up with the Lycans and have some sort of truce or something like that. Trust me, there's so many characters going on this, and there's so many secondary characters that are standing around, both with the werewolves and with the vampires. And it's so funny because, like I said, the vampires are high-tech, they're all stylish, you know, they look great. And then the werewolves, the Lycans, are all like mercenaries. They're all kind of in rags, and they're all kind of like, it's just, there's such a distinction between the two clans. You know, I thought it was really funny. But overall, special effects were great. The settings were great. The production values are great. Kate Beckinsale is beautiful. She is just gorgeous. She hasn't aged a day. And Theo James, I think he's a lot better in these films than he was the Divergent series. So overall, hey, it is what it is. It's Underworld. I liked it. So go see it. All right, for more reviews and interviews, surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Also, if you're watching me on YouTube, which you are, please comment below, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. Welcome to 2017. I'll see you next time. I gotta go watch the Golden Globes.